Hi everyone, welcome on this first live session. I'm Yoann, I'm the founder and CEO of Chargemap, and I'm here with Julien.
Hi everyone, I'm Julien, the product manager at Chargemap. We'll spend the next 45 minutes together answering your questions you sent us over the past few days. And also, if you actually want to react or if you have more questions, feel free to write them down in the chat. The community team will forward them to us, or they might try to answer them also if they can.
And as you can hear, we are based in France, so we apologize in advance if we make some mistakes in English, and we hope that you will enjoy our French accent.
Thank you, Yoann, for the introduction. Can you maybe give more information about who is Chargemap and what we do?
Yes, Chargemap is a small French company based in Strasbourg. We are 30 people, and our mission is to help everyone to charge an electric car everywhere. So for that, we have two main products. The first one is the Chargemap app, which is totally free. You can download it on the App Store and Google Play. In the Chargemap app, you will find all the charging stations across Europe. You will see a map with all the stations, and you will find the charging station details, for example, charging connectors, opening hours, or even comments from the community. You will also find a route planner that helps us to find the right charging station during a trip. So yes, this is for the Chargemap app. The second product is called the Chargemap Pass. With the Chargemap Pass, you can access and pay on charging station. This is the RFID card you can see right here. And with these two products, you can charge almost everywhere with any concern about charging.
Yeah, we can say hello to Sergey in the chat, who appreciate it that we're doing it in English. So that's for you that we're doing this. Let's start maybe with the first question from the community on the topic of the charging station in general. Which charging station companies are covered by your system in the UK?
Yeah, so currently you can charge on around 3,000 charging stations across the UK on network like NewMotion, ESB, EVBox, Ionity. More stations are referenced in the app. But they are not compatible with the Chargemap Pass right now. We are working on it, and we hope to announce new compatible charging networks in the coming months.
Still on the topic of compatible networks across Europe, we fly to Spain with Ben, who asked us, does Chargemap have an arrangement with Iberdrola?
Yes, we are compatible with more than 1,000 charging points operated by Iberdrola, so you can go in Spain without any concern about charging.
More general question still on this topic from Gerard. Can I use my Chargemap card at all charging stations?
Yes, so as you may understand, our coverage depends on the country, but you can access most of the charging stations in Europe. The Chargemap Pass works with more than 230,000 charging stations. So yes, you can almost charge on every station.
Now a question from Desmond. Some areas are still poorly served with charging stations. Many people may wish to make their EV charging point available for other EV drivers. Is it something that Chargemap covers?
Yes, that's a great question. In fact, you can already share your charging station. We have a lot of users that are sharing their personal charging station on Chargemap. For that, you just have to go in the app, add your charging station, all the details, and then your charging station will be on the map. That being said, you cannot manage the payment with Chargemap if you add your station. So in this case, you have to make an arrangement with the driver that comes to charge.
I think you have questions for me now, Yoann.
Yes, I have a lot of questions for you, Julien.
Ready.
The first one is from Braza. We are hoping to do a road trip from the UK to Gibraltar at the end of May. I appreciate any good tips, please. We are first timers for this kind of trip.
So first of all, make sure that you download the latest version of the Chargemap app on your mobile phone, so that you can get like the latest features to help you across your trip. The second tip is to get the Chargemap pass, so that charging will be definitely easier while traveling. Also, I mean, we recommend you to take a look at the route planner in the app. The route planner will actually give you stops, charging stops along the way according to your vehicle and also your preferences, being, for example, the speed limits, or if you actually want to avoid highways. Another tip we can also recommend is actually taking a look at the community part of the app, meaning the comments that the community left on the different charging stations, so that you know actually a bit more about where you will stop, especially the reliability of the station and other interesting tips. Also, I mean, the last tip is just like enjoy your trip in EV. Take your time. This will definitely be more comfortable. Huh?
Yes, for sure. So next question from Hans Jorg. How do I find hotels and restaurants with charging station by using Chargemap?
So on the Chargemap map in our application, you can use filters to find stations that are around hotels or restaurants. Unfortunately, for the moment, you cannot take a look at details of the specific places. Maybe this is something we'll add in the future.
Okay. Another question from Vanessa. Are you planning on developing the Android Auto feature any further? Sometimes it fails to give good proposal on charging station. When I'm on the Autobahn, it says I should charge at AC charging points, and that's not smart.
I agree. We agree. Actually, the Android Auto app is just another screen of the regular mobile app. This is the same. They have the same features. I mean, that being said, maybe the specific case you mentioned here was a bug. I mean, this, of course, it's not supposed to give you AC stops that will last longer than a DC stop. Just note that a few weeks ago we released a new version of the algorithm, which is actually supposed to fix this kind of small issues. So try it again. If you still see this problem, please feel free to reach out to our support team with more details so that we can take a deeper look.
Perfect. So why is a Chargemap RFID card needed to use your services? Starting and stopping charging directly from the app would be nice.
Yeah, I mean, this is again a very good question, and actually, I mean, we agree. That's why we are currently working on this. I was myself this afternoon trying a new version of the app. I mean,
really?
An internal version.
Okay.
I mean, it started to work correctly.
Okay,
yeah.
Perfect.
I mean, this is a feature that we will release in the coming weeks. I mean, we'll slowly release it on various networks. But this is definitely something that will be possible, starting and stopping a charge directly from the mobile app. And also the good thing is that you can take a look quickly at the prices also before starting. So this is also something very important.
So cool.
Yeah.
So next question, do you have plans for getting the live SOC, state of charge, from my own car into the app?
So this is not something we currently have on our roadmap. I mean, we agree definitely that live navigation and also based on real live data coming from the car itself would be a great addition to the route planner. I mean, this is not something we plan to work on like short term or mid term, but this is definitely something we have on our list, maybe for later this year or next year.
Okay, so we have one question from the chat. Two questions which are most important to me. One is about accuracy of information at charging in relation to can you can not charging using the pass. Who sets this up?
So the way it's working is that we have, we make deals with the charging networks. So as soon as basically we we find a deal with them. We work on the technical side. I mean, our team and their teams work together to make sure that the connection works properly. And once this is done, I mean, in the system, this is automatic. All the charging stations that are flagged by this network being compatible will actually show up in the app with the flag compatible with Chargemap Pass. So this is not something that is done, I mean, manually. This updates manually. As soon as we are compatible with the network, all the data that will send us live will actually be reflected within the app.
Okay, and the second part of the question is who validates if it's true or not, and how often this is done?
I mean, this is a bit what I've just said, is that, I mean, we do not check all the stations that are flagged being compatible with the Chargemap Pass, of course. I mean, you can also find maybe in the community part that some people maybe tried and it did not work. I mean, in these specific cases, I mean, we recommend the community to reach out to the support team to like create a ticket and say, okay, we have this specific issue, but it should not happen. I mean, this is something that is automatic. As soon as we are connected to the network, we get the live data. If they install a new station, this new station will be directly created in the Chargemap app.
Okay.
We have another question from Thomas. What do Chargemap make money from? Does it cost more to pay at the charging station with a pass than with an operator's app?
Yes, so Chargemap earns some money with charging stations. So we had a small margin on top of every charging session. Our business model is to bring more traffic to charging station, and for that we work with charging station operators. So sometimes it costs more than the operator, but we also have some agreement with some networks to have the same price than the network. So it really depends of the network you use.
I will take another question in the chat because I think it might be interesting from Olaf. He says like some of the listed AC stations, especially EV Box, are not accessible to the public. Is there any data that can be used to filter this out?
So right now you cannot filter on this, but maybe in the future we can add this this kind of filter. Yes, we see more and more private charging station coming from the operator we are connected. So this is a challenge for us to just filter this kind of charging station. But for sure we will improve this.
We have other questions, I think. I mean, we can go with the questions about the planner maybe.
Yes, so the question about the planners, the first one coming from Lionel. Is it possible in the Chargemap app to customize your route and stop for charging?
So yes, it is definitely possible, and I mean, I will show you how to do it right now in the app. So I took an example of a trip between Berlin and Strasbourg with Ioniq 5, I guess. So what you can do, I mean, here I have 3 stops that are suggested by the planner. But if I want to change some of the parameters, I can also do it. For example, if I want to stop a bit longer than what is suggested here, I can add some more time. For example, I say, okay, I plan here to stop maybe for 30 minutes. So I can define this and I say, okay, and the route will be recalculated according to these new constraints. Of course, the next stops might change. So you can do this. You can do it like this, changing the time or the state of charge of the battery you want to have when leaving. Or what you can also do is actually take a look around this station and select another stop because you decide, I don't know, to stop at the restaurant or something. And you can decide here to charge at a specific station and saying, okay, I want to leave here with 80%, and then the trip will be recalculated accordingly.
Cool.
Yeah.
Does the route planner take into account mountain routes with a higher power requirement? This is a question from René.
Yes, yes. The trip planner takes different criteria into consideration to provide the most accurate one. The elevation data is also taken into account, meaning that the consumption will be higher for the car climbing the hill But also we take into consideration like regeneration, a brake regeneration. So in the end, the average consumption of the car will be actually even up with this data.
Okay, next question about the planner. Does route planning use weather or at least important factors like temperature or wind direction or strength?
So currently it does not take into consideration this criteria. I mean, especially wind, I mean, is very complicated because it changes very quickly, and getting accurate live data for these things is a real challenge. This is something we might want to work on in the future. Let's see.
Okay.
Yeah. Do we have more questions in the chat? I'm not sure, not yet. I'm sure the team there will forward them if so. So now let's talk about the topic that you love, Yoann, the prices and the rates.
It's my favorite.
Yeah. So Fabrice asks, I wonder about the uniformity of your rates. How are you going to guarantee a certain price limitation independently of the fluctuation of the price of electricity on the market?
Yes, unfortunately we can't flatten the rate as the electricity price increase. We apply a minimal margin on charges, and yes, we cannot just remove the cost of the electricity. So we have to adjust our prices to the charging operator prices.
Still on the prices, a question from Peter, probably from Switzerland. Why can prices be quoted in Swiss francs?
Yes, good question. As a French company, managing pricing and accounting in Swiss francs is very challenging. But for sure, in the future, we have to improve this. For the moment, all our prices are in euro, but maybe we will improve this topic in the future.
Now, a question regarding the payment and the security from Peter. I mean, he asked what level of security is used to protect credit and debit cards.
Yes, to protect a credit card, we work with specialized payment providers. So they manage the security for us. They are very specialized on this topic. If you want the name, it's Stripe right now, and maybe in the future PayPal. So there is all the security layer needed and requested to protect your credit card, and Chargemap doesn't know your credit card number. So we work with a specialized payment processor.
Yeah. Maybe just a message. I mean, there are two interesting questions from Sergey and PT. Maybe we can, I mean, there are around the filters and planner. Maybe we can answer them at the end. So guys, don't worry, we'll answer the questions. Another question, I mean, still on the pricing and rates. Why don't you update the charge rates more frequently against what the app shows, says Alexander.
Yes, so I'm not sure to understand this question, but in fact we update the pricing each time the charging network changes prices. So sometimes it doesn't change during a long time, sometimes it changes several times during the year. So it depends of the changes from the network. Hopefully it's far less than oil prices. Yes.
And maybe a tip we can give you is make sure you take a look at the app and the prices right before charging, because I mean the prices might have changed recently since your previous charge, for example. So make sure that you take a look. I mean, the prices in the app are always up to date, and this is the one that will be taken into account if you charge at that time. Another question, interesting question. Do you have any plans for a subscription-based price model, like monthly fee or combined with lower kilowatt-hour prices?
For now, we don't plan to provide this kind of subscription plan. We think that working to have the better price the best price for every charging station is more important than providing this kind of plan. So for now, we are totally focused to decrease the price of charging stations.
Yeah, so we have, no more questions for the moment on prices. If you want to have more information about the prices, feel free to write the questions down.
Yes, and
yeah.
Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. This is very important. So if you like this video and want to be notified for the next videos, just subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Yeah, there is a question from Sergey. Maybe you can, if you want, you can ask it. Ask me this question. So
yes. How high on your priority list is working on fixing filters? For example, when you filter with Ionity, you will see a list of 15 INTs, and working on route planner, including filters on route planner.
Yeah. So at the moment, you can filter already. You can select specific networks you want to see on the map, or you can also exclude some. And also, like, the good news is that we are currently working. The team working on the planner is actually working on making sure you can prioritize or limit the usage of certain networks in the trip planner, in the route planner. This is something that will also come in the coming weeks. So this is definitely something we understand. The community is asking us frequently, when can we use the filters we have on the map in the planner. So this is something we are slowly including in the planner itself, even if sometimes the use case of using the map and the planner are not really the same. So we are always thinking of doing it the smartest way.
Okay, another question from Olaf. I'm planning to drive to France this summer. What is your local experience with regards to reliability of the listed chargers, especially in southeastern France, and how they are in high demand? And will I have some queues when I go to the charger?
Yeah. I think you are the one here being the most experienced with EV driving.
Yeah.
So do you have any recommendations?
Yeah, so I think for now the best option is to use the highway charging station. So yes, you will find a reliable charging station. Maybe the main concern is the time when you arrive to the charging station, because we see at some times that you can have some queues, especially for example to the supercharger, but also in Ionity charging station. So yes, keep in mind that you always need to have another plan to charge, and yes, it should be okay, because we have a lot of users that are driving in France without any concern and any difficulties.
Maybe a small precision regarding Sergey's questions. I was not sure, we understood it properly. Yes, Sergey, we know there is a behavior in the app where you have several Ionity networks listed. We know this is something as I said, the connection with the network themselves. This is something we might work on, that the operation team will work on, to make sure that this is a bit clearer for you and easier to manage. Yeah.
Okay. I think we don't have any more questions on the chat. Be sure that if you have some question, you can send an email to hello@chargemap.com, and we will provide you an answer.
Yeah. Maybe last question I see from Gary. Traveling to France from the UK and planning to stops in Rennes or Nantes. How accurate is the real-time information? As I said, if this is if these networks are connected or compatible with Chargemap, this means that we get real-time data coming from the networks themselves. We might have a delay of 1 minute sometimes. We also know, as I said earlier today, that we sometimes have small discrepancies between the real life and what we show in the app. It's fewer and fewer. We are working also to make sure that this does not happen so often. So I hope I answered your question, Gary.
Okay, thank you, Julien. I think
Thank you. We are done.
yes, we
Yeah,
are done.
good.
Thank you everyone for watching this live session. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. This is very important for us and for all the teams behind this live session. And yes, thank you, Julien.
Thank you, Yoann.
See you soon.
Bye bye. See you soon.
Goodbye.